Hello, grade 8s. We're looking at subtracting fractions. If you haven't already done so, you should look at the three important fraction skills lesson first, and then also look at the adding fractions, because subtracting fractions is almost exactly the same as adding fractions, almost, as I say here. What you do is you want the denominators to be the same. If they are, it's easy. You just keep the denominator and subtract the numerators. However, if the denominators are different, you must find the lowest common denominator, change the numerators, and then subtract as this above. All right, let's do some examples and you'll see. So here we are, two fractions. The bottom numbers, denominators are the same, so you keep the bottom number and you simply subtract the top. 9 take away 3 is 6. Now, an important skill is reducing. You have to reduce this. Divide both of these numbers by 2. So you get 3 over 5, 3/5. That's the final answer. Next one. So if we have two mixed numbers, this is mixed, that's mixed. Ignore the whole numbers for now. Or actually, we notice that the fractions have both bottom numbers the same. So, and we can go 2 take away 1. Whole numbers first. 2 take away 1 is 1. 4 take away 1, keep the same bottom number 5, top number 3, answer 1 and 3/5. Okay, here's one where the bottom numbers are different. Just like addition, we have to make them, we have to ask ourselves, what number do both 3 and 4 go into? So they both go into 12, so we're going to change them both to 12 on the bottom, and we're going to subtract. So we ask 3, how many 3's go into 12? 4. So in other words, 3 times 4 is 12. So whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. So 2 times 4 is 8. I put 8 up here. Here, 4, how many 4's go into 12? That's 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 1 times 3, this is 3. So now we subtract. Now that they're both the same, we keep the bottom number and we subtract. 8 take away 3 is 5. And this fraction doesn't reduce, so that is the lowest terms. That's the final answer. Here we have two bottom numbers that are different. So 6 and 8, we have to find a number that both of these will go into. So they both go into 24. So we change them both to 24. And we subtract. But first we ask how many 6's go into 24. That's times 4. So whatever we do to the 6, we do to the 5. So 5 times 4, 20 goes here. Here we ask how many 8's go into 24. The answer is times 3. So 3 times 3, this is 9. So now when we subtract, we keep the bottom number the same, 24. And we subtract the top. 20 take away 9 is 11. And that doesn't reduce. That's 11/24. So pretty straightforward. Three more examples. So here we have a mixed, take away a mixed. So we have two bottom numbers that are different though in the fraction. So we have to ask what number do they both go into? So yes, they go into 12 and yes, they go into 18, but the smallest number is 6. They both go into 6. So this one's already a 6, so we don't really have to touch it. But this one is not a 6, so we're going to make the 3 into a 6. So how many 3's go into 6? Times 2. So whatever we do to the bottom, do to the top. 2 times 2 is 4. So really now we have 9 whole and 4 6. Take away 3 and 1 6. So we subtract 9, take away 3. That's 6. And 4 take away 1 is 3. Keep the same 6 on the bottom. And that's not the final answer because both of these can be divided by 3. So you get 6 whole and 1 over 2 or 6.5. Final answer. Okay, these two are quite different, a little bit different in the subtraction. So watch what happens here. So we have a 10 and a 6 as denominators. We want to find a common denominator. So they both go into 30. So we will change the bottom numbers to 30. And subtract. So 10, how many 10's go into 30? It's 3, so it's 10 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. How many 6's go into 30? That's 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. So 5 times 5 is 25. Now, take a look. Before we even subtract the whole numbers, 9/30ths cannot take away 25/30ths, right? So we have a 5 and a 3. We have 5 and 9/30. Take away 3 and 25/30. This is an example which I call, how I show students is, it's the borrowing type. We have to borrow. We have to borrow from the 5. Now listen carefully. What you do is you borrow from the 5, you take away 1, you cross out the 5, you make it a 4. Now, what you do now is we whatever the number is on the denominator, whatever this bottom number is, we add it to the 9. We add 9, 30/30. In other words, you just add 30 to the 9, cross out the 9, and add 30. So that's 30 plus 9 is 39. It's just a trick that works. And I explain it more in depth in class, but for you, just to get through, this is what you do. Okay, so cross out the 5, make it a 4, add the 30 to the 9, make it 39. Now you can do this. 4 take away 3 is 1, and the 30th is the fraction, keep the 30, and you go 39, take away 25. That can be done, so that works out to be 14. So we have 1 and 14/30, which can be reduced, right? Because both of these will divide by 2. So we get 1 whole and 7/15. And finally, 8 1/4, take away 2 7/8. This is another example of this. So just watch. We have a 4 and an 8. Find out what common number we can, these will both go into. They both go into 16, but the lower yet, they both go into 8. So this one's already an 8, don't have to touch it. Gotta change this one to an 8. So 4 goes into 8 twice, so 4 times 2 is 8. So 1 times 2 is 2. This is 8 whole and 2 8s. Take away 2 and 7/8. Well, 8 can take away 2, but 2 8s cannot take away 7 8s. So this is the borrowing type. Borrow from the 8, cross it out, make it a 7. We add 2 to the 8 and 2 together. 8 adds to the 2, cross out the 2, make it a 10. So now we can do this. 7 whole take away 2 whole is 5 whole. And 10 8s take away 7 8s, still an 8. 10 take away 7 is 3. And that is actually in lowest term. So we have 5 and 3/8. All right, I know I went quickly, but I hope that helps you. And this is how you would subtract fractions.